When I'm not writing about or reading about demolition and construction, I spend an unhealthy amount of time studying the endless machinations of American politics. I originally started doing it because of that old adage, if America sneezes, we all catch a cold. To be honest, that's still a personal concern that Donald Trump and his cohorts have inadvertently created a right wing playbook for Nigel Farage to replicate on UK soil. But more recently, I've become even more fascinated by what US politics teaches us about tolerance, though not in the way you might imagine. Donald Trump's first term as president was bad, but nothing could have prepared us all for what Trump 2.0 looks like. And let's not forget, his parting shot the first time around was an attempt to overturn the result of a free and fair election. But since he returned, that attempted coup has become a mere footnote in the growing list of atrocities. He's threatened to annex Canada and to invade Greenland. He went one step further in Venezuela, where he has now declared himself acting president. He's dropped bombs and missiles on Iran and Nigeria. Most recently, his Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE agents, have shot and killed two US citizens while going about the business of rounding up and deporting 3,000 people per day to meet a pre agreed quota. And all the while, the true nature of Trump's connection to Jeffrey Epstein remains a closely guarded secret. Now, like many people, I initially viewed each new transgression, each new breach of the Constitution, and each new violation as a potential line in the sand, the point at which the American judiciary or the American public would rise up and shout in union, enough! That was a step too far. You've crossed a line. But now, just over a year into Trump's second term, each line is now firmly in the rearview mirror. Each new potential source of outrage is merely added to the compendium of past misdemeanors. That list, by now, must contain more entries than the Epstein files his minions are working so tirelessly to distract us from. The American electorate, it seems, is blessed with remarkably thick skin, and weirdly, those qualities are replicated in the UK demolition and construction industry. We too can watch the arrival of each new inflection point and then watch it fly by like a speeding train. We can watch more than 8,000 companies go to the wall in the space of 2 years and carry on as if that's entirely normal. We can watch 10 high profile demolition companies get fined £60 million for their part in a bid rigging scandal, and then it's business as usual. We know that more than 2,000 of our number will die from mesothelioma and asbestos-related diseases, but we don't list those among our annual league table of fatalities. Oh no, we've got a separate list for those, one that we prefer not to talk about. In fact, we keep that list right alongside the other register of the dead, those from within the industry that take their own lives each year. Wouldn't want that undermining our claims of being a caring, sharing industry now, would we? And we don't just flex to accommodate our own problems. We bend over backwards to accommodate those challenges and impositions foist upon us. Henceforth, you shall no longer be permitted to use the fuel you've used for the past century. Forthwith, you shall be allowed to work in certain parts of the country only if you invest in some expensive new equipment to satisfy our need to be seen to be green. And yes, your workers have been doing this job safely and efficiently for the past 3 decades, but we really must insist that they now sit in a classroom and prove it to someone that's never actually done the job themselves. Or worst of all, yes, 4 of your workers were killed in a single accident. Awfully bad show. But bear with us while we spend the next 10 years talking about it rather than actually doing something about it. And we take it. We take it all. We turn the other cheek. We look the other way. We take each new transgression, each new regulation, each new death. We take it all on the chin. Each day I watch the news coming out of America and I wonder how many US citizens will have to die before American citizens say, that's enough. I wonder how many foreign countries will need to be bombed or targeted for takeover before they draw a line in the sand. I wonder when they will say, enough. And I wonder when we will do likewise.